everyone, it's Chris with XFAT Theory. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Appreciate you being here. Figured I'd put a little twist on it, call it the State of the Union, because I'm going to talk about more than just what's going on with me. I will start out with saying that everything's going fine. It's kind of a boring and dull video to keep telling you over and over again that I'm just sticking to my plan and everything's going according to plan, basically. I'm still with GP Transco. I should do better this year than I did last year. I should make more money. I'm still doing good on my savings. I'm struggling a little bit there as far as I changed my plan a little bit as far as savings goes. I wanted to start putting back a little bit more. And I'm still on target, but it's a little harder to make that target. So I'm this time of year, it seems like every year I go through this in the summertime where I'm starting to worry if I'm going to hit my numbers at the end of the year. This happens every year. But so far so good. You know what I'm saying? Trucking industry is on a wild ride. There's a lot of stuff going on. They're changing a lot of stuff. They're changing rules. They're ejecting a bunch of drivers that can't speak English, can't read or write English, which in a way is helping the industry as a whole because there's too many people driving a truck and there's too many people that are driving a truck that should not be driving a truck. So it's actually helpful. And those people shouldn't be on the road in the first place. So it's a safety issue. I'm totally down for it. Our country is in turmoil, mostly because we have a small section of the country that are basically losing their minds. They just cannot stand that the guy they did not want to be in office is being successful. And that's like the worst thing ever. And, for the average person like myself, none of this going on in the politics has anything to do with me, really. It does not affect me in any shape, form, or fashion. The deportations, great. That helps the country as a whole. It helps the economy as a whole. That's great. Does it really affect trucking? Not that much, a little bit, not a lot. Does it affect my paycheck? Nope. Does it affect my stock market? Nope, not really. So, yeah, I'm for it. The stuff with Iran, everybody's like wishing for World War III. I'm almost like, yeah, okay, let's do it. Let's shake it up. There's a bunch of shit in the world that we need to fix. Why not? Let's do it. Of course, the liberal progressive view on that is completely different. Their view is they kind of want America to get nuked. Yeah, that's not going to happen. But we could go on the warpath and start fixing some stuff, putting our foot down. A lot of people basically underestimate the power that America has, the power that they don't use but could. If we decided to be the bad guys, the whole world would be in trouble. We are not the center of the universe. Okay, I'm not trying to say that, but I'm just saying that world economics and world harmony, we do play a big part of it. The U.S. dollar is very prevalent around the world, and if you were to change that, you are talking about massive economic failures across the globe. So, not something that we want, not something that anybody else with half a brain wants. So, I don't think any of that's going to actually happen. It's always saber rattling and, you know, hey, look at me, look at what I'm saying, look at what I'm doing. It's it never goes anywhere. Um, but we do have a small cross section in this country that really just does not get a does not get it. It does not clock with them. They're they're in deep, and I don't know how we're going to wake them up. I think we're just going to have to deal with them and accept them as being way, way, way out there until the future, and their time passes, and the younger generations come along and are more level-headed and a little wiser. So I think we're going to be stuck with dealing with this crazy crowd for a while, unfortunately. You know, and you can't fix them. You can't educate them. They don't want to be educated. They don't want to be uh, normal. They don't want to have common sense. They want to be revolutionary. And for the majority of us Americans, we're like, hey, you don't like it here. There's the freaking door, man. Don't let it hit you on the butt on the way out. See ya. Have a nice day. Have a nice life. You know, we're too busy doing what we got to do to get by to worry about them numbskulls. So, anyway, we got this president for a couple more years. Don't know where we're going to go after that because there's nobody like him. I mean, I am not his biggest fan. I will tell you that. I am honest about it. I am upfront about it. I am not his biggest fan, but he is a personality. He is a force to be reckoned with. And I don't see anyone else out there on the horizon who is going to be able to do things the way that he does things. And for the poor Democrats, I think you guys are in trouble. I think y'all are in a lot of trouble, especially after seeing what New York just did. New York just had a primary, and one of the guys that's going to be going for mayor of New York is a absolute communist, and that's not going to go over well. I don't know why these people don't get it. You know, America does not want, nor will they tolerate, socialism or communism. It's part of who we are as a nation that we support liberty and freedom, not government control. Plain and simple. End of story. Period at the end of the sentence. Done. It's not going to happen. You can try to push all your little commie college kid friends, but you guys are not the majority. And as you get older and wiser and start to see the real world and have to deal with the real world instead of mommy and daddy paying for all your college bills, and all of a sudden you got to get out here and work and earn and be a productive human being, your perspective will change. You will stop wanting to give away the farm because you've actually had to give up something to earn it. Right now, you're giving away other people's stuff. Well, that's the only way socialism and communism works is by taking away other people's stuff. But once they run out of stuff to take, then you're in deep crap because nobody's got nothing anymore. You done took it all. So that's how that works. Ask North Korea, as their people are starving to death, and they're deciding to send troops to die over in Ukraine. Why in the world are they doing that? Why in the world would a Southeast Asian communist country give a rat's tail about what's going on with Russia in Eastern Europe? And why would they send their guys to go over there and die? It makes no sense whatsoever. Somebody will have to explain to me what they would stand to gain. I mean, yeah, they're trying to strengthen their bonds with Russia because they're starving to death and they need shit. So they got to buy it from Russia. But Russia ain't exactly, the cornucopia of supplies because they're not getting everything. They're getting cut off from the way they're behaving. So they got embargoes and, all kinds of blocks and, restrictions to their economy. They're not going to be able to support North Korea. I don't get it. I don't understand it. So a lot of these topics and things about what's going on in the world, kind of shy away from them. Yeah, I have my opinions, but I don't usually get in here and talk about them because there's so many facets to it that I just don't understand. And to be honest, I don't need to. That's why we elect people. That's why we have people in our government that's their job, is to look at what's going on out there and figure out what's the best path for us to go to handle these things. That's their job. That's why we hire them. That's why we elect them. And if things don't go the way we like and they're not doing the things that we want, we elect new people. That way we don't personally have to try to sort it out and figure out what should we do. So I don't like the whole Ukraine war thing. But I can tell you I damn sure don't like Iran getting nukes. And this is a topic that goes way back for me. I've been very much on the side of putting Iran in its place a long time ago. Even before Obama. I mean, we're talking years ago. And Obama had the opportunity to put the brakes on Iran's nuclear program. And instead of doing so, he handed them money to further develop it. Instead of being part of the solution, he decided to be part of the problem and make it worse. One of the things I really hated about the Obama administration, right there. Never mind Obamacare. That was a bad enough thing, but the whole Iran situation, yeah, that to me burned Obama's entire legacy to the ground, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, what else? Oh, the economy. Economy's still chugging. I mean, it's depending on who you are, where you are, what kind of money you're making, and everything. Prices have gone up, but we still have to survive, so we still pay the prices. What can you do? You have to have things. You have to have money. You have to have food. You have to have a roof over your head. So, as tough as the economy is, it's still chugging along. So, like my stock market account, it's still chugging along. Uh, Certain political entities want to act like the stock market has burned to the ground. No, not true. People freaked out about the whole tariff situation, and they were trying to burn the stock market to the ground. Didn't work. They tried, and actually I appreciated it because when they did that, the stock market prices fell for a short period of time, and I was able to capitalize on that and spend a lot of money on buying stocks. And then when the prices came back up, I sold those stocks off at a profit, and I made over $4,200 in profit off of that. And I'm sitting on cash right now, waiting for them to do it again. I want them to do it again. This whole thing with Iran, I was hoping, please go ahead, shock the stock market, scare everybody, talk trash, talk about it being World War III, scare the stock market. That way prices will drop. I'll buy again because I'm sitting on a nice fat chunk of money waiting to buy. But right now, stocks are firing off so steadily and at a pretty good price that to me they feel a little bit overvalued, and I don't really want to buy much right now. So I'm sitting on cash waiting. When I get an opportunity to buy cheap, that's when I'll spend my money. Right now, I've got stocks that I'm just holding, and they're making me money every month because they pay dividends. So I'm sitting on those, letting them do their thing, and I'm sitting on some cash, waiting for an opportunity to buy more. Now, some people that know stock market and know buying stocks and all that, that's kind of called trying to time the market. Nobody's good at it. Nobody's good at it because if they were good at it, we'd have a whole bunch of rich people. A lot more rich people than what we got. So it's not a good strategy. And I'm first one to admit it. Yes, it's not a good strategy to sit on the money, but I am trying to feel the pulse of the whole political situations. And if that were to happen again, to where something political happens to kick off a very sharp downturn on the stock market, you can almost guarantee that that's going to be a very short term thing. And you're going to have to be quick on the trigger to get in there and buy good companies at the cheap prices when that happens. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Actually, what I should do is just go ahead and invest that money I have sitting there into stocks that are going to pay decent dividends. The only reason why I haven't done that is because A, I think I can make some more money if something triggers, and B, the stock market's a little pricey right now. It's a little rich. So I'm kind of hitting the pause button for just a second on buying like crazy. And hey, if it works out and I make some extra money, great. If not, it doesn't hurt anything. I'm just sitting there with cash on hand. You know, it's not going anywhere. I'm not losing money or anything. So I guess that's about it, guys. Like I said, I just wanted to jump in and pop off about the craziness of the world right now, everything that's going on with the Middle East and the war in Ukraine and the politics here and the silliness that's going on in the streets with the people trying to protest for criminals, people trying to protest for oppressors and dictators. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's it's stuff that I would have never dreamed of as a kid. Growing up in this country, I would have never dreamed of having people actually get in the streets and protest and burn and riot and act a fool for a criminal. Shocking to me. I'm like, what the hell? Who are these people? Where the hell do they come from? These are not the people that I grew up with. These are not the people that I knew. None of the people that I know would do that and act that way. But what do you say? What do you do? As an individual, what can you do? All you can do is just try to keep abreast of what's happening, try to stay informed a little bit, and make sure that you vote. You know, that's all you can do. Make sure that you vote and that your voice is heard. And I don't suspect that we're going to be electing very many Democrats in the future. The Democrats have really shot themselves in the foot. You know, they are their party's suffering, and they don't seem to get it. They keep thinking that they're just not far enough left. They're just not wacky enough. They're just not insane enough. They need to be more progressive, more wacko liberal, more communist, more socialist, because they're just not getting through to people. And the people are going, "Are you freaking blind? We don't want any of that. We've never wanted any of that. We just want a world where people can get along, do their job, go to work, have a family, have a life, pay their bills, have a little money in the bank, drive an okay car. Nobody wanted socialism. Nobody wanted communism. Nobody wants the government to take care of them. The only people that want that are very lazy people. People that have no self-esteem, no sense of self-value or worth. People that are broken are the ones that want that. The vast majority of Americans are not broken. The vast majority of Americans are hard-working people who want a good life. The Democrat Party's not offering that anymore. The Democrat Party's offering you either go with us or we'll cancel you. You either support us or you're a trash, you're a phobe or an ist, and it's an ism the way you're behaving, some sort, you know, simply because you disagree with their point of view. And that's not the way America has ever worked. You know, the insanity of the rhetoric and all that has exploded. You know, we used to use very moderate language when speaking to keep things on an even keel and be able to communicate back and forth. Okay, you disagree? Okay, fine. Here's my opinion. There's your opinion. We have to agree to disagree. Where can we meet in the middle? That used to be, way, way back, that used to be the way of things. Now it's just crush the opposing party. Everything's party politics. Everything's got to be one side or the other. You're either red or you're blue. You can't be in the middle. Can't be, moderate. Can't be, somebody who speaks softly. You have to scream it from the rooftops, one side or the other. You got to be all in. So it's caused our country to kind of be pretty insane. This is not the America that I grew up with. It's not the America that my parents grew up with or my grandparents. This country has definitely changed. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just trying to survive in it. I'm trying to make my way, just like most of us. So, all right, I'm going to get off my soapbox. I just wanted to pop in a video and say hi, and there's not really a whole lot to tell you about what's going on with the job. I'm working my butt off, making money, saving money, and getting ready for, 4.5 years from now. Oh, almost forgot. Did want to talk about what's going on over in Southeast Asia. There's been a shift this year, 2025. There's a lot of information coming out, both, well, we'll say both from Thailand and the Philippines, which are in top 5 of my destinations that I'm thinking about for retirement. Tourism is taking a hit, and the people that are being expats and living over there and visiting over there for, more than just their week or 2 week vacation. Starting to see a big shift over there. People are not real thrilled with what's happening over there. There's been some serious inflation. The countries over there are starting to charge more. For Thailand, the Thai baht has strengthened versus the US dollar, which I guess is good for the Thai people. So I won't, say anything bad about it. But that means the US dollar doesn't go quite as far as it used to. Um, there's issues with changing visas and the fees, and some issues with banking and other countries' tourism that's affecting people who are used to spending a lot of time and money in Thailand. Uh, Thailand, I guess, decided to make a free visa for people from India, and then apparently they are taking full advantage of it. And the tourism from India to Thailand has tripled, and that's caused some serious cultural issues and problems. And it seems like the people over there in Thailand are not real thrilled with it, and they're choosing to go to other locations for their vacations and or to live. And they're starting to see a drop in their overall tourism and their overall economy in Thailand because of these changes. Same thing, similar things are happening in the Philippines with the prices and the fees and the banking and it's not as drastic, but the Philippines has always kind of been the go-to place if you wanted to go cheap. And it's not, they're starting to price themselves out of the market. So you're having a lot of people who are having difficulties dealing with being over there, and it's not as cheap as it was. Um, Cambodia is kind of flattened, where some of the people are going to Cambodia, some of the people don't like Cambodia, so they leave. But it seems like the big winner right now, the big wiener chicken dinner, is going to be Vietnam, which is crazy to me. But Vietnam is actually doing well. They're actually seeing more visitors, more tourism. Um, they're doing well. Their prices aren't fluctuating as much. Their fees, fines, visas, and all that stuff are still kind of staying what they are. Their infrastructure over there is really good, so they're doing well as far as banking and transactions, and they're not just killing people with transaction fees and all this other stuff. Um, so they're doing better. So that's food for thought. And that's one of the things that I'm really having to kind of think about a lot lately is the infrastructure part of it. That really, I don't know, that it's going to be a driving factor for me. I know moving to Asia, I'm going to probably give up some of the infrastructure because the U.S. has awesome infrastructure. I mean, we bitch about it all the time because it's terrible to us. But compared to other countries, once you step outside of the U.S. and see the way the rest of the world is, you realize how much infrastructure we really have. So when I get over there, I'm going to be looking a little more at who's got reliable power, who's got reliable internet. You know, am I going to be getting brownouts, you know, 3 times a week? Am I going to go 2, 3, 4, 5 hours a day, a couple times a week without power? You know, that doesn't sound like a good time to me. Now, I don't know that that's Even if it's cheap, I don't know if that's something I want to do. Especially if you've ever been to Asia, you know it's hot. So that's no fun being in the middle of the day with no power, no AC. I can definitely tell you. I'm being from Florida. I can tell you what it's like to be in the AC or be in Florida in the heat and especially humidity with no AC. Been there, done that, lots. So it is not fun. All right. I guess that was the last thing I wanted. I almost forgot about it, but I guess that was the last thing I wanted to talk about. I have still not decided. Um, Thailand was kind of creeping up the list, but I don't know. Still got 4.5 more years before I'm going to be over there. Things can change in a matter of days, so can't make any solid determination. Um, but that whole area with Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, that's pretty strong contender for me. I may bounce around the three to kind of see what I like, and see what suits me. And I'm definitely going to go to the Philippines. I love the Filipino people. The Filipino people are awesome. And I got some friends that live there, so I'm going to go see them. So I'm definitely going. I don't know if I will stay there though. I don't know if I'm going to call that home base or not. The infrastructure in the Philippines is not great. Now, if you're in Manila or the heart of Cebu, it's a little better. But outside of that, maybe Davao might be good. But once you get away from the big city, not so great. And the roads over there. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to call it quits there. I just wanted to hit you guys up, put something out there for you guys to see, and let you know where I'm at and what's going on in my head. If you guys got any questions, comments, concerns, whatever, drop them down below. And I'm going to call it a quit. We'll see you in the next video.